Welcome back to the Stormcast, everyone. This is a podcast where we talk all things TABC sports. My name is Ali Akberg. I'm here with our dear co-host, our athletic director, Ali. Hopefully more, but our athletic director, Oren Glickman, and we have a packed episode. Unfortunately, I know we talked about this briefly in the last episode, where I unfortunately missed that. We unfortunately lost in the varsity ball championship, but we have Sarah Check this week. We have spring sports. Spring sports are underway. We're gonna preview everything in Hashem. But actually my voice is back, so I can actually speak. I think we're all recovering. Oren, how you doing today?
Good. I had the opportunity to visit the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Was there with for the hackathon at Kohelet with our coding team. Fortunately, I can't win that either.
Um, if you don't know, Oren might have a little bit of bad luck. We have currently won 0 or 1 championships
It's
under
not
him.
true. I won track,
I said 0 or 1. We have won,
and
and
we
I
won the
still
Shoresh tournament for JV basketball. No one seems to talk about that.
okay because we went out on a bitter note. We did win show rush though. Okay, so we have a packed episode. If you want to kick it off, we're gonna kick it off here talking about what people are probably the most interested in. Sarachek. Um, it's a big deal. If you don't know what Sarachek is, I don't know what. I hope you're a new Yeshiva League fan because this is probably the most exciting part of the Yeshiva League. Sarachek is a tournament where teams from all across the Yeshiva League come in and compete at YU, hype time. And in the first round, TABC will be playing the Skokie Yeshiva, the Fazman Yeshiva, whatever you want to call them. They have like a million different names. They're like the MTA of Chicago. They have too many names.
But I think
Uh,
their team name is the Yeshiva. I don't
which is
think they have
which
like
is
a.
an epic name. But like you call them 50 different things. You just call them Skokie, Chicago, the Yeshiva, Fazman, Fazman Yeshiva, FYHS. There's a lot of names for them. Oren, you know more about ball like countrywide. So if you want to talk about Fazman specifically, and then we could open it up to more general Sarachek discussion. By the way, TBC is the 4th seed. I think we briefly mentioned that. Skokie is from Chicago. So go ahead.
I would say we're heavily favored in this game. I don't think they're particularly big, so it's an opportunity for someone like Ayal to really feast on them. But they're not bad. They have some impressive resume wins. I think they beat Ida Crown towards the end of the year, and Ida Crown seeded higher in the tournament. Ida Crown's a 9 seed. They beat Rochelle Zell, which is a community school in Illinois, not Orthodox, but they're particularly good. Um, they have a lights out knockdown shooter in Amster, who really carries their offense. So I think if we hold Amster to on 15 points or under, we should be able to cruise in this game easily, unless he were to go off.
So hopefully it's a win, but it's very important to be there. The game's
It's
Thursday
very
night.
interesting if you check out the Barstool account. The Skokie Yeshiva, they're talking a lot of smack heading into this one.
Yeah, seriously. Um, it should be an interesting game. Hopefully, everyone should pull up if you can. We're favored, but any crazy things can happen. We almost lost to Berman last year in the first round.
It's
But
March.
for I know for TABC, I think this is unfortunate. They probably have one of the toughest roads to the Sarachek Championship. Um, Second round, assuming they win, I'm assuming everything's going to go chalk, which obviously you can't assume. Let's just assume that's the way things go because that's probably how they
Yeah,
play
I'm
everything.
part of the Sarachek committee, like prediction panel. Um, so far, I mean, I don't want to be a spoiler, but so far, none of us have any upsets on day one.
Yeah, so my
We,
predictions
we only
going,
got one upset last year in BT over Valley, so I mean, it's kind of
Right,
yeah,
that was an
I don't.
11/6. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one upset in my predictions. I have MDY over as the 10 seed. I had them beating North Shore.
Right,
Um,
and I'm not really sure how much of an upset you
I
can
know
really
I'm saying
call that.
seeding wise, seeding wise.
Right,
I was just going based off my predictions.
because Magan got all the way to the semifinals.
Exactly. It's the two
So
semifinal teams. Arguably, Magan played better there.
right,
If
North
we're gonna
Shore
go,
beat Magan in the one regular season matchup that they played, but it was very early in the season. Like it was even before Magan went out to Memphis.
wow. So okay, so we're gonna go assuming things are chalk. That top seed will win. TBC will have to play SAR, probably arguably the third best team in MIH SAL or MyShaw. Probably went DRS, right? They lost to DRS. They split with TBC on the year, and that's in the quarterfinal. Similar to how TBC had to play Shalhavet. And then even if they win that game, they have to play Eula, which Eula, led by Alex Gabay, is an incredible
Hollander.
team. Hollander, of course. They are
Azarel.
okay. We could go on and on.
The thing is, keep in mind, TBC were the 5 last year, and they beat Shalhevet, who were the 4. So it really doesn't change all that much. TBC is just now the 4 instead of the 5.
Exactly. The point is that the road is just very tough, and even if they beat Eula, they're gonna have to play the winner of Shalhevet DRS. And we right now have
Noke will go nuts if it was a DRS TBC Sarachek final.
I think that would be one of the wildest games of all time. I hope it's a New York versus LA final. That always is more fun. I hope it's not DRS Eula.
I think Shalhevet TABC would be an interesting final, but
Most definitely.
TBC has a long way to go because TBC knocked Shalhevet out last year. There are a lot of ties between the two schools.
Yeah, we're looking at the predictions from last year, at the panel from last year. We were discussing this on our chat that there are a lot of people predicted. I think three people predicted there's a Shalhevet TABC final. And by the way, I think it's very exciting. A lot of the top players on the tournament. There's a lot of players to look forward to. If let's say TBC gets eliminated, it's unfortunately not like the scenario. Just enjoy the basketball. Alex Gabai, Aiden Vitron, Joe Aaron, Sweet Saidi, Alex August. There are stars all around in this tournament. And I think Josh Abbott, of course. There are stars all around in this tournament. And of course, the North Shore Stars, which we talked about on our podcast before the semifinal game. And I think it will just be an all around very fun tournament. If you could show up, please do. I can actually not. I'm only going to be able to show up on Thursday night. Friday, I have a doctor's appointment, and Sunday, Model Based-In. Shout out my Jack and the whole team. We're going to Landers actually for their competition. Model Based-In. We're powerhouses there. I think we've come in at least second place each like the last 10 years, but whatever. So hopefully we can beat Eula that day, and I'll be missing that game. But I think it's an exciting tournament all around. Oren, if you want to say anything else about Sarachek.
No, listen, DRS won the Yeshiva League, but I had the opportunity to interview their coach the following night. And, the motivation is still there for a team like DRS, yeah, we won the Yeshiva League, but like now we're chasing number 1 in the country. So that should tell you all you need to know about how big this tournament is, Coach Oz said in the locker room after the championship game, like, all right, we lost the quote unquote the conference tournament, but now this is March Madness, so this is the opportunity to win a national championship. And I think that's the way the team has to look at it, even though I'm sure there's still some people who are dejected in how the final went down.
So I know we didn't really discuss the final. I'd just like to give a few shout outs from the final. We didn't really discuss it all that extensively. I think that's fine. I think if you're watching this, you probably know what happened. But I want to just give a few shout outs. Shout out to Ayal. He had a tough first quarter. He really rebounded. He really led the team all season. We're looking forward to seeing him in Sarachek. Last year, he had one of the all-time Ayala performances or KBC performances, putting up 37 against Berman. That was a spectacle to watch. Shout out to him. Shout out to Akiva Borgen. He has really caught fire of late. Shout out to Yona Mandel. For some reason, he's just so clutch in championships. It's just like, I don't know what it is about Yona, but he does not miss in championships. Shout out to David Sack. Shout out to everyone for really playing an all-around game. And on the DRS end, shout out to Sweet Saidi and Joe Aaron. They were lights out. And really shout out to the whole team. Michael Solomon played very well against TBC. He's not such a big guy, but he plays like it. But unfortunate loss. We're looking forward to Sarachek. Any last notes about Sarachek, or are you ready to move on to spring sports?
No, it's like you said. They had TBC had such an easy path to get to the championship game, and Sarachek cannot be more different. Like, you have to beat a team like Eula just to get to the finals, which is crazy.
Exactly. And
unless Eula were to somehow get upset before, which I don't see happening.
It's possible. Almost happened last year. That was one of the most incredible games I've seen in my life.
Right. They almost lost Ida Crown, and they could be playing Ida Crown again that Friday.
I know. I kind of want Ida Crown just to beat Hilla, just to see an Ida Crown Eula matchup, just to see if that can
But
happen.
also, there'd be a good storyline component to Eula Hillel, because Hillel took Eula to overtime in Memphis.
Yeah, so I think all around this will be a very interesting tournament to watch. Again, top teams, Eula shall have at TBC, DRS, hoping for a New York LA final, but we'll see what happens here. And now we're on to spring sports. We have a very special guest. We will be interviewing the JV soccer coaches, Oren Glickman, along with Shammai Kirschenbaum, legend, and we will cut to there right now. we are here with our two coaches of the JV soccer team. Our real coach, Shamai Kirschenbaum, with
Yeah.
unofficial coach, our real coach Oren Glickman, assistant coach Shamai Kirschenbaum. And it's been a fascinating season so far. This team has played 2 games. Started out with an unfortunate loss on the road to Hafter. And rebound, Shamai became assistant coach and immediately defeats YDE 27-2 at home. So coaches, what are your expectations for this season? Who can we look forward to on this team? And yeah,
Better coach goes first.
Coach goes first. Okay. I have a hot take that I'm looking forward to seeing Chet Melzer. I don't know. He's coming off like 2 games with goals. No, he scored
yeah.
in Heschel and he scored when we
Hafter.
played Hafter. He scored in Hafter and YDE. I don't know, off the bench hot take.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
had a
know.
hat trick in the YDE game. He's been the surprise. He's been one of the surprises of this season, of this young season so far. Jack Clyde too had a hat trick. Lefkowitz has also come into his own. Yeah, I think what people don't realize too about the Hafter loss is that the game was played in a hockey rink, and
Yeah, I think as a team we're 0-3 on the year in that gym. So can we not play after anyone?
yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Look on the bright
Noke, we should change our chant to "We can't handle the greenhouse" to "We can't handle the Scott Satrin Arena."
Look on the bright side. The JV hockey team lost its first game in After, and then they made the championship. So
Then lost.
It's going to be even worse because varsity hockey are playing in the Beitler tournament in that gym next weekend.
Oh no. Okay, but on a serious note, who are the stars of this team? Who can we look forward to watching the rest of the season?
Tani Fleischman, obviously a captain. Adiv, Eitan Gilad, and Natan Rush.
Wow, Roosh getting an honorable mention there.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Uh,
He paid you?
no, he's just like big soccer fan. I don't know. He's like skillful. He like knows moves, but like.
So, so for people who don't know as much about indoor soccer and are used to regular soccer, or do you want to explain how the game differs, especially goals wise, and how?
Yeah,
Okay.
so indoor soccer is a very high scoring game. That's why the Hafter game was like 13-2, and then we went off for 27 on
13-2.
YDE. But 27 indoor soccer is not common. It's 5-on-5, 15-minute quarters. The clock only stops after a made goal. Scoring is just score like you're never out of the game really. Like you could be down 3-4 goals in hockey and like the game could feel out of reach. Indoor soccer, if you keep it within 4 or 5, you always have a chance in the game.
Yeah. So for those who are like, oh my gosh, how did you allow 13 goals? Shout out to Max Berger, our goalie, our starting goalie.
He didn't give up any against YDE. The 2 goals were given up by Noam Simon. And ironically, Noam Simon played the second half as an outfield player and he scored 2 goals.
So indoor soccer is a little bit different than outdoor soccer. What are your expectations for the team this year? Meaning, of course, like obviously we're hoping for the ship. Meaning, like, what do you think the baseline is? Like, what do you think this team is making the playoffs at least? What do you think the ceiling is for this team?
Yeah, so I think we got a heavy reality check when we lost to Hafter. Like I think we went in thinking we were gonna, destroy, and we didn't. And then I made the change of bringing on Shamai as an assistant coach, and then we spank YDE 27-2. So we're riding the hot hand of Shamai Kirschenbaum right now.
Yeah, my halftime speeches hit different. I know they hyped the team up.
Yeah, I just yell at halftime. Shamai actually has inspiration.
What was the halftime speech this past week? What'd you say to the team?
I mean, there wasn't like much inspiration.
We were up like what were we up at halftime?
It was like 17-2 or 17-1. There wasn't much to say. I don't know. Just like keep scoring.
Isn't the JV soccer handbook, doesn't it say that you're not supposed to beat a team of more than 12?
So
and on that note, hopefully the commissioner's not tuning into this episode.
We have a little bit. Okay, so the upcoming schedule is the following. Tomorrow night you'll be playing Heschel. We're recording this on Monday night. If you want to give us a little preview of that game with next week it being before the 2 games before Pesach being Ramaz and Frisch, and then after Pesach is where the schedule you play SAR, Kushner, and Frisch again. So, what you want to give us a little preview of the schedule and what the schedule's looking like?
Yeah, so Heschel is actually, well, it's our third game. It's their first game of the season. So we really don't know how good they are, but this was the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. So that's something to keep in mind. Then we play Ramaz. I don't think Ramaz, this is Ramaz's first year playing in JV soccer. So from everything I've learned, I don't think they're particularly strong.
Yeah, they're only better
And
this year.
yeah, and Frisch and SA are always going to be dogfights, whether they're good this year or bad this year. Kushner
Yeah.
also could be a dogfight.
I think Kushner won one of the soccer championships last year, I believe.
They won varsity last
Oh,
year. They're
varsity,
playing.
okay.
They played Frisch tonight in JV. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so SAR is undefeated on the that's a while in the future. But so JV soccer, we're looking forward to a great season. Thank you so much to both our coaches. One of them who's a mainstay on the show. One of them who's a great guy nonetheless, even though he's not a
But if
mainstay.
Shamai wants to stay on and talk about other teams, he's more than
Uh,
welcome.
No, I'm gonna dip. But
Is
shout
that a fly the
Easy.
W flag in the back?
what?
Is that a fly the W flag in the back?
Yeah, it's Chicago Cubs.
Are you guys Cubs fans?
Yeah, all Chicago fans besides for White Sox.
Okay, let's sing the song together.
Hey,
Go Cubs,
Go
go!
Cubs, go!
I don't know
Go
this because I'm
Cubs,
not a baseball fan.
go!
Hey
Hey,
Chicago,
You gotta start from the beginning.
what do you say?
Baseball
Cubs
season's
go.
underway.
Okay, this is some
You
really
better get
quality
ready
podcast.
for a brand new day.
I know like
Hey
half of it.
Chicago, what do you say?
The Cubs
Cubs
are
are
going
going
to.
to-
Hey, we got everyone in on that one.
Singing, go Cubs, go!
Okay.
Go
This is
Cubs.
some real quality podcasting. Thank you, Shamai, for joining us. And we'll
All right,
continue on
thank
with the
you guys.
preview of other
And
sports.
if any of you guys want to sponsor me Slurpees for tomorrow, I already have 3.
Is that Yoni in the background? Someone's calling. No, it's Noak's
No,
brother.
Yeah, it's like Tess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Noak's brother who's enrolling for DRS in 9th grade.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shamai, for joining us.
I
And
see
have a
ya.
great night.
All right.
So we've talked about JV soccer, and I think we all they're a good team. 1-1, Adiv Rimberg, Connie Fleischman, Eitan Gilad, Max Berger, and that, et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's time to talk about some other teams. So there are a lot of teams to talk about. I think JV soccer. I think I mean, it's not championship or bust, obviously. I mean, like the expectations aren't that sky high, especially after the half loss, as you mentioned. But expectations are still high. But what about varsity soccer, Oren? What can you tell us about varsity soccer? A lot of the seniors last year. I mean, obviously, Sammy Levine, Moshe Zelig, Linder.
Yeah, well, they're 2-0 so far. They got their easy part of the schedule done already, beating teams such as JEC and MTA. They have their home opener tomorrow night. We're recording on Monday, so their home opener is Tuesday night against SAR. That'll be their first real test of the season. SAR bringing up a lot of players who were part of the JV championship winning team last year. I think if they win this game, it'll really. I think the outcome of this game will determine whether they belong at the top with teams like Frisch, SAR, Kushner, or if they belong, or if they're like a mid tier team. So a lot will determine what direction they're headed in tomorrow night. So we'll learn a lot more about this team tomorrow night in their home game against SAR.
So tomorrow night's a Big 9 TBC Sports, which we'll talk about soon. So right now they're 2-0. They defeated JEC and MTA pretty handily in both matchups. Shout out to Yoav Linder for scoring, I believe, his 100th goal in his career. And Moshe Zeli, I think, for scoring his 50th goal. So this week we have Tuesday night SAR, and then before Pesach, similar to JV, playing Ramaz and Frisch both at home. So 3 straight home games before Pesach, before they play SAR, Kushner, and Frisch. So they have a really tough schedule in the sense that
Yeah, there's really no room for error with this varsity soccer team.
I mean,
And I
yeah.
think playoffs is going to be complicated too, because I think the top 2 clinch and then 3 overall best records between the 2 conferences, and the other conference is known as the weaker conference. So TABC can really only afford maybe. I think might have to go like 6-2.
And which is very hard considering 5 of their 6 games were against the 3 top teams that you mentioned: Kushner, Frisch, and SAR. So this will be a fascinating thing to watch. Hopefully, we wish them much luck. Who can we watch out for? I mentioned some people. Who's in net and etc.
Yeah, well, it's Fee Golden, in my opinion, is the best goalie in the league. So you always have a fighting chance with him between the pipes. Sammy Levine, I think, is the best defender in the league. So while we don't have as much depth compared to last year when we had someone like Montes Kraus, I think with Sammy in the back and Svi and Ned and Yoav's attacking prowess, we can go toe to toe with anybody.
So okay, so again, high expectations, but similar to I guess TAVC and Sarachek, you could be one of the most talented teams and not make it very far.
Right.
So moving on to volleyball. Volleyball is a little more complicated. I mean, like you want to explain. This is only our second year in volleyball. If you want to explain how playoffs work, firstly, this team is 1-1. They narrowly lost to Frisch and then destroyed Kushner. You could look at the match scores. They beat Kushner 21-11, 21-18, 21-6. Pretty much just swept them. This week they will be playing. Next Monday they're playing Salman Schechter, SAR, Rambam, North Shore, Ramaz, Flatbush. That's the rest of their schedule. So,
Yeah,
Oren,
they play 3 matches before Pesach next week, which is
yeah. So, Oren, I
uh,
just have a STEM question for you and a volleyball question for you. So, if you want to tell us about volleyball, but our spring sports schedule is a lot shorter, or is that just
yeah, every team plays only 8 regular season games. There's just not enough time between
That's
when
crazy.
when the winter sports end, and towards the end of the year, everything gets harder with the trips and the graduation dinners and the plays, and yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun in
This
terms
feels a
of
little
in
crazy.
terms of scheduling. Yeah,
Like 5 of our 8 games.
and I'm having problems right now with our esteemed student activities director for we thought that the pre-Pesach night of learning was April 8th. And now we get an email that's April 7th, and we had games scheduled that night, so it's a whole mishigas right now. Yeah.
So, okay. We'll figure it out, hopefully.
hmm
I know that's more so your job, but thank you to Oren for all that you do. It's actually a JV varsity doubleheader soccer versus Frisch Saturday
Right.
night.
Of all nights yeah,
It's not
exactly.
just a Stom game. It's not like no offense. It's not like volleyball versus Salman Schechter. It's soccer,
Right.
our biggest rivals.
Right.
If you
Right.
want to tell us about volleyball, what the expectations are for this team, and really how the volleyball playoffs work.
Yeah. So listen, Eitan Vogel was the glue of the team last year, and he's not back. But I think we're riding high on someone like Sittner. I think Sittner could really carry the team.
Goldberg.
Gabe Melnick. What was that, Noak?
Joseph Goldberg.
Hi, Jogo.
Hi, Jogo. Jogo's our avid listener of the podcast.
I think
Yeah.
Joe might be our biggest fan.
I think Sittner could be the Vogel this year of this team. It's actually unfortunate. After the Salman Schechter Long Island game, he's going to Israel for the marathon, so he's actually going to miss the SAR Rambam home matches. We could probably beat Rambam without him. I'm not so sure about SAR. I'm not as confident there. In terms of playoffs, I think the top 2 teams in each conference get a bye, and then the next 2 in each conference advance to the playoffs.
Okay, there's 6 teams in the conference, so there shouldn't be 5 teams in the conference.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah, or maybe it's top overall records.
Yeah,
Last year,
no, there's 5 teams in the Eastern Conference, and there's like 8 teams in the Western Conference. So.
Yeah, so
sorry,
when we made the playoffs in our first season, we won at Magen David, and then we lost to Ramaz. So Ramaz has won the volleyball championship, I think, 5 years running. It's like a dynasty at this point.
So we're unlikely to beat Ramaz, I guess, but there's still a lot to look forward to this season.
I mean, Ramaz played Frisch, and I think Frisch took a set from them. So
yeah, it appears they took 1 set, and it was pretty dominating. So Frisch played them actually decently,
right?
But it's a cool thing.
And we took Frisch tight, so who knows?
Exactly. So that'll be all for volleyball. Unless there's something else you want to talk about with that, Oren?
No. It was good to bounce back in convincing win over Kushner after the disappointing loss we had in our season opener against Frisch, and at those next 3 matches next week are going to be pretty critical heading into the Passover break. I think they need to win at least 2 out of those 3 to go into the break at 3-2.
Yeah. And then we have tennis, and then we have softball and baseball. This is gonna be a longer episode, But that's what happens when it's a whole preview when it's so many teams. So
That's
we
what people
have
don't realize. Spring is more hectic when you think about it.
yeah, there's like games every night. Even if you're not going for them, it's busy for me running the spring sports track, Oklahoma for OREM, actually going to these games. For tennis, I'll just read out the roster. It's only 12 people, which is I think an increase from last year.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, 7 people really only play, so I would just talk about the 7.
the 7 are Ayal, Kalb, and
Ayala, Calb, and Eliason looks like they'll be the singles players for their first match tomorrow night against SAR, and then the doubles matches will be Barzita. Am I pronouncing that
yeah,
correctly?
Barzita, yeah,
With
Barzita.
with Ruben, and I think the other one is Nordlich with Sachs.
Yeah, that makes sense based on the order that's on the roster. Yeah, it looks like
Mhm.
Ayal, Kalb, Eliason, Nordlich, Sachs, Barzita.
Yeah, we have a new coach this year. Natano Calb's older brother is the coach.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Alex Kalb, is that his name?
hmm
Yeah, he's been for Kotar before. Kotar
Yeah.
knowledge. So Ayal. Oh my gosh, Noke. So
You can't go one episode without him bullying you.
seriously, I'm not gonna crash that right now. But who? I mean, like anyone.
Sorry,
who
that was a mistake. I was
Okay. Or anyone you've been impressed with, or like again, it's.
I was only at the first tryout, but it looks like these freshmen have talent. Eliason, Ruben, Schwabel.
I mean, yeah. Shout out Eliason. I know. I'm very close with Levy. He has been. He's a tennis star. He's asking me about tennis last year, and he's like, yo, do you have a tennis
Yeah,
team?
he's also on my soccer team, and I always told him if there's a conflict between soccer and tennis, he should go to tennis first, because tennis, like, your role is a lot more important in tennis, where in soccer, like, you have a heavy rotation to choose from, if that makes sense.
Very true. Shout out Levy, real mensch, awesome guy. Now we're gonna leave JV softball for last because that's our favorite. We have our JV softball is very special on this podcast to us, and now we have baseball. Baseball is last year baseball is weird because their playoffs are so late. This is a team that, if you want to talk about it, has a lot of 12th graders and a lot of 10th graders.
Which was not the case last year. They only had 2 seniors last year.
Exactly, Aaron Major and Aiden Gurin. If you want to talk about the squad and who the pitchers are, who are the real stars, and what to look forward to this year and expectations.
Yeah, so obviously our co-host would have the best preview when it comes to this team, but he's not with us. I think he would highlight Shia Bodner, Sammy Levine, Adiv Rimberg, I think, is going to pitch this year.
I think those are the 3 main pitchers. I've heard really great things about Bodner. For that, Bodner could be one of the best pitchers in the league as a junior.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Listen, I think when you have a bulk of the squad coming back and some talented freshmen coming in, such as Ruvain Zelig, from everything I've heard, he's quite a star. The team should go far this year. We'll see. We'll definitely see. I think the first game is a week from tonight against Hafter on the road.
So they have some very tough tests, and while speaking to people on the team, the assessment I've gotten is that they can play with anyone. Right now, the assessment that I've spoken to people is right now they're the 3rd best team based on pure talent, behind SAR and Frisch, but they can play with anyone. So.
Yeah, in fact, they actually scrimmaged against MTA yesterday. They won 3-1.
Better than Danielle Ekman's walk-off, if you remember, last year.
Right. And we actually want to give a refuah shlema to Danielle Ekman. He was cleared to practice again with the varsity basketball team, and he suffered an injury again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wishing him the best, and we're also wishing the best to David Linder on my soccer team, who's also having surgery and will be facing time on the sidelines.
Oh, so refuah shlema to all. And I just for the starters going to be Sammy Levine, Adiv, and Bodner, the main pitchers. Shia
Forgash is a good hitter.
He's going to be our catcher. Itai Berkowitz at 3rd. Ezra Epstein, Sammy Levine manning the middle infield. For outfield, a bunch of different guys. I've heard Michael Greenberg, shout out to him. Mattel, Noble, Rimberg, Taub. A lot of guys. Shout out to Joe Weisberg, wishing him a refuah shlema. Tier 4 championship is proudly his.
Alan Rosner. They're Noke.
Noke loves Alan Rosner. great kid, but Noak especially loves him. So shout out to Alan Rosner. And we're looking forward to a good season. We'll talk about just on a week basis, like what's happening this week after we talk about.
And Bayowitz, there, Noak.
Yeah,
Noak,
shout out-
instead of chatting, why don't you just talk?
Because I don't have my mic on me and the audio sounds bad. So
None of us have mics, Noak. And talking about the best team in Yeshiva League history, probably JV softball. We might be the best squad ever.
This is the best comeback story ever because we thought there was going to be no JV softball, and then not enough juniors and seniors showed up to varsity softball tryouts. The JV softball came back, and we're doing something a little different this year. We're experimenting with baseball players being able to be on the softball team.
Yeah,
can I say something before we go?
Yes,
I mean we're talking about JV softball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right. I would
shout out
say
to Shia Forgash.
I would
You mean-
say
Isaac Forgash.
I would say at the meat of this team, which is like the 1 through 6 of this team, is a strong meat. I would say the depth runs a little thin, but I would say the foundation is we have great players on this team, and I think the depth is thin, but everyone on the bench can contribute in a big way.
Yeah, so I think what Noka is trying to say is that the stars are real stars, and everyone else it feels like is on the same level. Like we don't really know how that's going to play out. I mean, we have Itai Berkowitz, we have Zach
Assuming
Fields.
assuming the games don't overlap with
I
baseball
know,
games.
yeah. We have Adib Rimberg, we have Ori Schloss, Akiva Schmidt, shout out, and the rest. I mean, everyone's great, especially Noah Kessler, but we don't really know how that's going to play out. I think that's what Noak was trying to get at, and it's a large roster. There's everyone who tried out made the team. We'll see who. Of course, some people are on it for the chill. It's JV softball, best grill. And I think we're really a real question mark. What's going to happen this year? It wouldn't shock me if we make the playoffs and with flying colors and do really well. But unfortunately, it wouldn't shock me if we just don't play well at all. So hopefully we'll make the playoffs. Hopefully we have the best coach in the Yeshiva League, and Isaac Forgash, legend. He now is employed by Fresh and ABC. So shout out to him. I want a few people to do that at the same time. And any other notes about JV softball?
We know where his loyalties really lie. He's a proud TABC alum.
Exactly. It's like, you know what I mean. It's like, it's an anomaly to work at Fresh and TABC at the same time.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about JV softball, please do not say anything bad, or else we won't.
No, he's gonna wrap it up. He's tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. I gotta get ready for baseball season. I think this is a real JV softball team. I think, I look at the banners in the hockey gym right now, and the last time we won is 2005. So, why don't we make it a 20-year anniversary and win for 2005?
Well, we're actually practicing this year. Tomorrow night. Mark it in your calendars.
It's tomorrow night. I thought it was Wednesday night.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm talking as if it's already midnight on Monday.
Okay. I was so
Yeah,
scared.
You're making me a little tired here.
So this week, I was going to schedule for this week. Okay. I feel like we haven't emphasized Sarah enough. Sarah check. Everyone better be there. This is probably like you don't understand how upset I am that I'm missing 2 days of Sarah check. Like, please don't tell anyone. But like, we'll see if I may be sick on Monday.
It's a big secular sports day too. It's a March Madness, Sweet 16, and opening day. So don't pressure kids to go.
No, I'm pressuring everyone to go. This is better.
Well, I got to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't have a big pit for Thursday because I think we're an overwhelming favorite. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think we play SAR
Friday against SAR. I think would be crazy.
I think that's gonna be a massive pit.
And there's no school.
And there's no school. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to miss that game, which is incredibly sad. But I think I'm also gonna have to miss if we beat SAR and play Eula. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be missing that game. I'm actually devastated.
Does Noak have anything nice to say about the Eula fans?
Oh, the Eula fans are behind TABC as the best fans in the league. They're less loud.
They do have the best chant in the. They have the best chant in the league.
No. TRS's chant is the best chant.
Oh, Eula. Shout out Rafi Mark. Great kid on Eula. The boys with him. Shout out a lot of guys. We'll see you there. Schedule for this week. Tomorrow night or Tuesday night. JV soccer at Hatchell. Varsity soccer versus SAR. Massive game. Looking forward to 2 big SARs.
Baseball season's underway. Well, you better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. They're singing, go Cubs, go! Go
Okay, we're back. A little intermission. We are playing Skokie, so if we don't start a Go Cubs Go
It's
chant,
fitting. Yeah.
we're gonna start a Go Cubs Go chant. A lot of practices this week. JV basketball is practicing on Wednesday night. I just noticed that on the schedule.
It's a freshman practice for the ninth graders.
Interesting quirk. Whatever.
Yeah.
Varsity basketball is practicing before Sarachek. That will be nice.
That's their last
And then-
ever practice. Yeah.
And it looks like hockey's having a practice also because of Beitler on Sunday morning. We'll talk about the Beitler tournament and Mesa Shem next time. We have track meet on Sunday if we don't speak before then.
All right, let's go
Sarah-
wrap this up. Let's go. I'm tired.
Monday, because I don't think we're going to speak until after versus Hafter in baseball. Actually, at Hafter. I don't know. what
Yeah.
it's
Tennis
first.
are also playing their first match tomorrow night, by the way.
Yeah, I thought I said that.
Yeah.
That's the,
Well, you got interjected by Nook with the Go Cubs Go.
okay. And volleyball at Selman Schechter. And then Tuesday night, back-to-back baseball games, by the way. And then JV softball, opening day at Frisch, 5:30 p.m., Wednesday, April 2nd. Be there, or you're not a real member of TABC. Not sarcasm. Okay. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. Shout out to Shana Kirschman for coming out. Hopefully we'll see you all there on Sarachek, and have a great night.
JV, I think we hit the jackpot this year in terms of our incoming freshmen. Ezra Adams